The Columbia Workshop, produced by William N. Robeson. From the west coast of Africa, the Columbia Workshop brings you for the first time the talking and singing drums of the equatorial jungle. From Nigeria, the drums of the Lagos and the Mini. From Sierra Leone, the drums of the Temne. From Liberia, the drums of the Kru. Calabar drums from the Ivory Coast. Dahoo drums from the Cameroon. The Columbia Workshop presents Tranga Man, Fine Ga, a story of the African bush written and directed by John S. Carlyle, production head of the Columbia Network. The drums you are hearing were made by the men who are playing them, made under the blazing African sun from rare woods and specially treated skins. The rhythms are the earliest forms of wireless rituals in the world. The workshop presents for the first time on the air the talking, singing, dancing drums of West Africa in an original radio play.
Your long trek is almost ended, Brett. 2 days more.
You forget I have to go back the same distance with a consignment. How do you think?
That you won't go back? Not at all. You'll return to England. Whether or not with a girl remains to be seen. That'll take some doing.
We must succeed. The British government...
British government will not override the tribal laws and customs, except to prevent cannibalism or the killing of white men. I've been a trader among these people for 40 years.
Well, my papers of no value.
As far as Freetown, they were. Now you're in the back country, so don't get uppity. These people will give you what you want if they like you. Nothing if they don't.
I'll watch you, Yukon.
Right. Over there, I think, the spot we land and take the trail. I'll ask Squawka. Koloro Mukwan.
Over yonder.
Batra. You hear the fellow, Brett? If you listen carefully, you'll get most of what they say. They almost always put their questions and answers in both their own language and broken English. He said, no far. Over yonder. Not far. Over yonder.
Thanks. It's a strange patois, but no stranger than the broken French I've heard in Somaliland.
Well, here's the landing. Feet will soon be on the ground again. Watch yourself now, getting out of the canoe.
Righto.
Step on that root over there, Brett. The ground's a little soft.
I'll follow Oyabu. He always fixed the dry spots.
There you are. That's only a little way now to the village.
Doesn't look like a village could be near. I see no evidence of habitation.
Don't you hear anything? Well, you're out here a while. Your ears will get sharpened up. Listen.
I hear faint beating.
Uh-huh.
Thought I heard it out in the river a few minutes ago. What is it?
Drums, man. Drums. Drums in Badaloko. Waka. Entele Rabal Rafeki.
Yo, Italian umbo. Ayaya long.
You hear that, Brett? The boy says he heard it a long time ago. I'll find out if he knows what they mean. Good eye, Bo. Nuno para patera. What's in the den they do?
Very, very, I do this. I hear them drum very, very. Hear them drum, they talk about you.
You bet I hear the drums talking about. Brett, they have some sick people up there. Sick with very. The dance drummers are hard at it, helping with tribal medicine. And the talking drums have told old King Baishabara and all his people about us.
What do they know?
All they've heard about you since you landed at Freetown. And that's most everything you know about yourself.
Amazing.
And all they will have observed about you night and day as we camp up the river. I'll venture that's more than you know about yourself.
What I look like and the way I move about.
Oh, that's easy. They figured that out. They figured out what makes you tick and what sort of work you have inside. There's character analysts, I know.
What's my IQ and what is my rating according to the drums, Yukon?
That we'll find out. My 40 years out here haven't taught me the drum language. I get only a very little of it. You have to be born to the drums, either to play them or to understand them.
Yo, Maka, Mkroba, Mbo. And a Kroba Manda one day. And a Krubasa.
What is Kruba? He said something like that was over there.
The Kruber of the King's Guard. Oyabu says they're coming out to meet us.
Will they be friendly?
Oh, yes. This was Doc Watterson's village.
Father, the half-breed girl I've come to get.
And beloved by these Badalagor people. He's buried not far from here, and his heart's in the big drum with the old King's Conco. The drum they use for medicine and for funerals.
Pataloko, Clover, Tranga Man.
Yeah, they are strong, I know. But good. Patra.
Yo, good.
Dr. Watterson must have been a fine physician, Hugon.
Oh, he was. But he was a better friend. He loved these people. Helped them with food and diet, mostly. Pills and powders weren't much good.
Oh, I thought these people need European medicine.
Not much of it. Surgery, yes. Watterson was a wizard with the knife and the needle. But when he himself came down with fever, it was native herbs and nursing that brought him back.
What killed him?
Gin. Bad gin. Poisonous gin. Some crooked traders dished the stuff out one time so as to get away with a lot more ivory than they could buy.
And Watterson's wife. What became of her?
The native one?
Yes, I know. The Englishwoman died at sea after she deserted him and left him out here alone. It's the other, I mean.
Well, the native wife was a good woman. Martha. She came from Bairunco's people in the village where the kid is now. Martha died soon after dark of a broken heart. She also had drunk some of the dope gin. It didn't help her any. Well, here are the Kruba. The gods who, as Waka and Oyibo say, will take us to King Chabra.
Janewa, come on, quick. Who you?
Ah, Watibera. We friends. You are Manga?
Yimba, nigga. Yes. Umbo, you gone? Where you at?
Where's my wife? Well, she stay at Freetown.
You boy, Wambi. Young for. Fast. You wear fine. You go wear fine, oh.
Well, thank you, Oyibo. I myself think she's a very fine woman. Better often all. Beautiful woman.
Where boy, Wambi? You fine, fine. Which side you go?
Sounds like pig Latin. What's that mean?
Well, listen carefully. It's easy. He says, "Où say you they go?" He's telling me to say where I'm going. We go, Madam Pa, Manga.
Bolanje, come on, quick. Where you want?
What we want is to speak with your king, by Shabara.
Well, they're gonna buy yours. Yeah, boy, Wambi. Over there, to buy cocoa. Buy fish. Where you go? You go. Gonna buy yours.
Come, Waka, and Oyoibo. Come, Brett. We go to Buy House. That is the king's house. We have an audience with Dr. Watterson's best friend.
Hope he's got refreshments ready. I could eat a dead goat.
You may have to, but I rather think the Buy will give us some well-cooked chicken and cassava pudding. Walk in front of the guards, Brett. They'll point the way with their spears.
Makomanyu, mana, by Shabra. I go Waka. I see them people. Now we friend them one day. You gone. You friend. Now the white man friend? Drum say you go Marampa. See Barunko.
Yes, Buy. White man's name, Brett.
Brett, English Potopara. Tranga Man?
Very big man. Very good man, Buy. Friend of family Watterson.
No friend, English what?
No. He's not a friend of Watterson's English wife.
Good. Friend, what is it? Where you go?
We go to Marampa.
See fine girl. What is it?
Yes. See fine girl and get fine girl of Watterson. And bring her back.
You met Flava, Barunko?
Yes. Will you help?
Fine girl tower. Which way to go?
If you help, she go to England.
Fine girl go where Tranga Man go.
I know she must go with strong man. Brett, he very strong man.
Tranga? The way to go. We go see. Tomorrow, we go Marampa. You tap your there. Tranga Man. Fanga.
Good Lord, Hugon, what is going on? I can get only a little of this patois. Understand I'm supposed to be a strong man and all that. But will he help?
He will. We stop here tonight and go to Marampa tomorrow. It's not a long trek.
Yo, yes. You tap your there. Tomorrow we go Marampa. Where you go? We gone?
Where we go now? We they go eat, if it's all the same to you. Can we have food in the kraal and watch the dancers?
You don't go eat in the crab. You go on bread, you go sit down. Big Jabawa. Baba, big drum. Cook food. White man sit Jabawa. Kruba, I don't make you go. We don't go eat and dance.
What dance by Shabara?
Left dance. Apopo dance. Good.
Most astonishing rhythm, Hugon. Seems to get right into you. I'm sure every muscle in my body is slightly moving now. What a spell they cast.
We are none of us far removed from our tom-tom days, Brett. More than that, this complicated rhythm with its hypnotic repetitions is elemental for us as much as for the Africans.
I was just thinking, we call this primitive. In a good sense, it is. But it's not childish or crude or coarse. It's fundamental, or as you say, elemental, yet highly developed in its kind.
Well, let's sit here.
Righto.
Our chicken foo-foo and pluses will come soon. While we wait and while we eat, we'll enjoy the theater in its earliest form.
I suppose the play was born in such a village as this.
Oh, undoubtedly. The dancers have dramatized narratives when one performer acts. A second one comes on the scene and adds his part. Then we have dialogue, spoken or sung, dramatic action and impersonation. Yes, Brett, right here in front of us is the beginning of music, the dance, and the theater.
Is this the slave dance?
Yeah. It's an old story of terrible days along the West Coast. Now it's a dance. That soft iron bells that the girls are wearing sound like chains.
The girls are wonderful, erect. The expression is sweet and changeless. It's a strange grace and beauty they have.
Now, they don't need a smile and grin to win favor. Every step and movement they make has great meaning. Now watch their feet now, Brett. You see, there's one foot following the second drum, you notice? Another one, the fourth drum. Look now. Each arm and shoulder follows a separate part of the rhythm, you notice?
Dance.
Uh-huh.
How marvelously they break from one rhythm to another. Isn't that big muscular fellow one of the boys who came out to meet us?
Yes, that's Manga Gamba, a very famous dancer. This is the popo, or excitement dance.
How long does this keep up?
Oh, throughout much of the night. Come on, let's go away to our condo. We may not get much sleep, but we can rest. There's a big day ahead. Come on.
You know, I have a strange feeling that something awful is about to happen. If you're back at Freetown, I'm sure I'd chuck up this whole business. Oh, why couldn't Watterson's daughter be an English girl at Brighton or St. Ives?
You say she's sole heir to the Watterson family property?
No other near relatives. If the solicitors had not known of this hot native girl, the estate would have been divided among 20 or more distant relatives.
What'll she do with it if she does go to England?
I can't imagine. 300 acres in Stafford can't possibly mean as much to her as a little land her hut and breadfruit trees are out here. But the solicitors say, bring her back. And the government says, carry on. And British law is British law, you know.
You want to give it up and get lost in the Congo or along the Gold Coast?
Not really. You know, I'm afraid I've sounded you like an awful blighter. But I'm not so nobly concerned at this moment with the affairs of this fine girl of Batamarumpa, because I'm in a funk. Uncomfortable about what this thing may do to me. For the first time in my life, I think I'm a bit psychic. Something damn serious is going to happen, Hugon.
Oh, come. You need a rest. As Bai says, we tapia tunet. Tomorrow we de go see. We have palmy, if not downy couches. Come on, let's go to bed. We may not sleep much, but we need to be on our back.
Righto. Lead on. I could do with a few hours. Probably feel much better in the morning.
Hey, hey, hey.
pal.
How do you feel?
Couple. You?
Oh, a little morning stiffness. No more.
Which way do we travel? Oh, I imagine you asking this Afro English. Far way we they go.
Oh, good. You're catching on to it. We go east, 2 hours' journey to Marampa.
I suppose they know we're arriving.
They already know and will keep a check on us every few minutes on our way. You hear the drums?
Say so. Been going like that for a half hour.
Ah, well, here comes our band of Kruba. Well, here they are. Let's be off. Here is Vi to bid us a safe journey.
Where you go? Good, Jugan. Baronko Bada Marampa. Tranga Man. You beat Tranga Man. Fred beat Tranga Man. Maybe go bring Panga Black? I don't know.
Thank you and goodbye, Shabada. Come on, Brett, let's follow along. You go ahead behind Manga. I'll be on your heels.
So this is Marampa. What is going on?
Why don't you ask Oibu? Try him in broken English. I see you have some notes there. Take it slowly.
I'll have to. Oyabu, what pina den they do?
What did I do? They drum the yelly there. I bet to put for drum. I big crew my dance. Crew my people. Crewman dance? Ah, good, good.
As a challenge dance to the other dancers, Brett. Sounds like a festival. We'll go directly to the crowd, I think. The king, he'll be there. We won't have to tell him much he doesn't know already. You watch his face. Listen to his voice. He's a lion, but one who rarely tears when he strikes.
Call him there. Why man friend? What is in friend?
He's asking.
Now we play from Balaka. Tranga Man?
He's asking who every one of us is.
That's right. And the guard says we're friends. Listen.
Who that one from Balaka? Tranga Man?
Mwabuanejo. Tranga Man. Waka, he crew. Tranga Man, holy boot. He bataloko.
Ha ha. Good. Order.
Oda.
Who that say Order when Miss Order now?
I spoke. So sorry.
You, Brett?
Yes, bye.
What do you make you come here?
What's he asking me?
What makes you come here? Your mission now, your reason for this journey. Why are you here?
Friend of Waterson's, bye. Friend of Waterson's daughter. Waterson's family leave much land, many houses.
Who's that day?
Tell him where the land is.
In England, bye.
Ah. Dana Papa will you? Bad. Danger. How far that day?
How far is it?
Many miles over land and sea, bye.
I will. Watterson girl, fine girl. Fine jabba wine, fine dancer. Now you want me Ghana.
She's the finest and most beautiful dancer by. And we are proud because you have had her trained to be a credit to you and her father. May she not go to England for big rewards?
Africa, Biko.
But England is her father's country. House where her father was born.
I will, Mommy. apricot, now in country. Taiwo daddy, apricot, now in country. Now the girl will make Ghana here.
What's that last about Taiwo?
He says the girl, Taiwo, is his favorite dancer. I'll speak to him. Bye. You are wise. Wise. What do you say to us?
What I say by you, I tell Drum. Drum tell me, blood. Boy, I'm going to put it in the blood with the blood. I tell you, I will in the blood. Then I'm like, I'm yamming this little run. I'll be real for me, but you hear it now? Drum tell me, Lord, me tell you. Taiwo marry Tranga Man, Taiwo go. Taiwo no marry Tranga Man, Taiwo stop here.
Did you understand that?
Partly.
Vi says it's the law. If Taiwo marry a strong man, she may go with him. If no strong man marries her, she stops here with the Temanists.
Tranga Man, Taiwo go. No Tranga Man, Taiwo stop.
That means...
That means you must marry her according to the tribal custom in order to take her out.
But, old boy, I can't do that.
Then you go back alone. Now, don't be a fool. The British government will not make such a marriage binding on you.
I suppose I'll have to chance it then.
Bye. Watterson's friend is a strong man and wishes to marry Taiwo by your law.
Ah, Tranga Man? Who say?
He is indeed a strong man. I say so.
I don't cannot believe what you say. Watterson friend on the talk. The talk where we go talk now, yeah? I ain't gonna make we know say in a Tranga Man.
Vi says he'll not take my word for it. Ordinarily, he would. But he's fond of this girl. He says you must prove, not by words, but by action, you're a brave man.
How will I do that?
Vi, how will my friend tell you he is strong and brave?
Fred wants to tie with dance now, yeah? Fred will take him in Lapa. It's up there, then plug him. Now, see we're bad for Wivano.
He says you watch Taiwo dance. If you want her for your wife, you must undergo the flaga.
What's that?
Peel off your shirt, step into the center of the ring, and hold your hands together as far as you can stretch them over your head.
Then what?
Then the guard will give you 5 lashes with a long whip. It'll cut deep into your back and side. If you don't cry out, they'll cheer you. If you can go through with it, they'll call you a member of that tribe. A Tranga Man.
Tranga Man. It's a mad thing, Hugon. Just as I told you last night. Something terrible is at hand. But I'll see it through.
He says it's bad for a white man, but I've taken it. I think you can stand it. Be brave. Bite your lips, but don't cry out.
Tell him I'm ready.
Vi, Watterson's friend is ready for the trial.
You hear it, the drum?
Yes, I hear them.
Tranga, Tranga drum. Tabli Taiwo.
Here comes the girl, Taiwo, Brett.
Raw? What's up, Vera? Raw Kona? Raw Rumpa? England.
Hugon. She said England. What else did she say? She's beautiful. That rhythm is intoxicating. Am I going mad?
Hold on to yourself, Brett. She learned English from her father, remember. She probably knows everything we've said and are about to say. Agrees she's lovely. Watch her. She's going into her dance. Remember now, when you're ready, dash for the center of the kraal, hands in the air. And may all the gods, black and white, be with you.
girl don't want it.
Brett, are you all right?
I am Hugon. They gave me something very potent to drink now.
Yes, I know. Palm wine and herbs. Well, will you go on with it? The marriage dance has begun.
The worst is over, Hugon. Oh, they were awful, those last 2 lashes on my open back. Is the stuff all right they poured over me?
Yes, it's the only remedy I know. You'll be pretty well tomorrow. A little sore, few scars.
Now, I suppose the program is married, then back to Freetown and England.
Then the annulment of the marriage and back to the solicitors.
Solicitors? Annulment? Oh, yes, I had forgotten.
You don't mean to say the annulment and the solicitors are becoming less important to your plans?
I don't mean to say anything now, because I'm a little sick and in a strange state of mind. Where's Tywell?
Here, boy. We go now for sons, for marriage dance. Tranga Man.
Theo. Fine guy.
You have just heard the Columbia Workshop's presentation of Tranga Man Fine Ga, in which a group of West African natives performed on their talking drums for the first time on the air. Tranga Man Fine Ga was written by John Carlyle, production head of the Columbia Network, who also directed the broadcast. The Columbia Workshop asks again for your valued reactions to tonight's play. You kindly address your comments, criticisms, or suggestions to the Columbia Workshop, care of the Columbia Network, New York City. Next week, the Columbia Workshop will present an experiment in surrealism. This philosophy of superreality, which has amused and excited and outraged artists and art lovers for nearly a decade, will next week be presented for the first time in dramatization on the radio. You are urgently invited to listen to this highly controversial experiment next week at the same time. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.